Hey, I said that it would probably be two players that can possibly change the minds of the Cowboys at pick 12. That was Josh Simmons and Ashton Jeanty. And we didn't get neither one of those. So I was half right. Now, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe, everybody. Hope everybody's well. And welcome back to YDG Cowboys. And of course, YDG stands for You're Doing Good Cowboys. So, trench warfare. Now, if you go back and look at this last Super Bowl, when you had Patrick Mahomes running for his life with that Eagle defensive line. So you got to understand something. Was it a sexy pick? Was it something that nice shiny toy? Was it that bike that you wanted for Christmas and didn't get? Or that four-wheeler? Yeah, and I can understand. No, it wasn't. And I can understand, guys, if you're upset about it. I get it. It wasn't a sexy pick. It was an offensive guard, but Zach Martin is gone. Zach Martin is gone. And Tyler Guyton is so-so. So I like it. I'm not upset about it at all. Not at all. Because here's what you're dealing with in the NFC East. And we need to talk about that. You know what I mean? Yeah, Golden, to me, was ranked right there with Booker. He was right there. So I'm okay. I really am. And think about it. I mean, you have to build your trenches when you're dealing with the NFC East now if you're going to try to compete with them. You have to. Your offensive line, and I don't think Brock Hoffman, TJ Bass would be sufficed or good enough to handle that defense that we now have to put up with in the Eagles. I like Hoffman. I love his attitude. I love everything about him. Okay? I love everything about him. But he's just not ready to be a starter. He could fill in, God forbid, if something happens, but not to sustain a 17-game season. So let's talk about this defense that we have to endure over the course of the year when you got to deal with the Eagles, the Washington Commanders, and the Giants now, because they got Thibodeau and Abdul Carter. Whew. All right, so you got the Eagles defensive line with Jalen Carter, All-American, All-Pro. Jordan Davis, big 6, what is he? 6'7", 6'8", 1,000 pounds. Not to talk bad about the guy, but he's big, he's huge, he's a humongous guy. Defensive tackle for the Eagles. Now, Milton Williams is gone and Josh Sweat is gone, but that's the reason why Patrick Mahomes was running for his life last year, because of that defensive line, and that's the reason why the Chiefs got beat up the way they did. Patrick Mahomes looked shook, and I've never seen him look that way in a game. So, yes, the trenches do matter. Yes, offensive line does matter. Saquon Barkley with the Giants was a 1,200-yard rusher with the Giants. With the Eagles, instant superior yards from one season to the next with over 2,000 yards rushing. Saquon Barkley. So when you have an all-pro offensive line as the Eagles and an all-pro defensive line, you have to catch up. And boy, did we. You got Tyler Booker on one side, right guard, which is going to replace Zach Martin, throwing people out of the club. Go back and look at his tape. I seen him, and I was high up on him in the draft. And at 12, I understand why they took him. Because Tech McMillan, which the Panthers didn't need him. The Panthers, that was about the stupidest. I'm not going to say, listen, the Panthers needed defense in the worst way. And the offensive line. And taking T-Mac at 8, they just didn't need him. Now, will he show up and show out? Probably. But if their quarterback is running for his life, it ain't going to matter because Patrick Mahomes had great weapons, but he couldn't throw the ball. And their quarterback needed everything with the Panthers, which is my hometown. But back to what I was talking about. You got Tyler Booker. Did you hear what he said? In his press conference. I wouldn't say press, but when it was asking him questions about how does he like playing guard, he said something to the fact of, I've liked making really, really great players that love the game to not want to play football anymore. I like to see in their eyes submission on them, me leaning on them all game, beating them up all game, not to want to even play or love the game anymore because of what I do, the power that I endure on them. And that's pretty strong for a person to say. So I had to go back and look a little bit more in depth at his tape. And Cowboy Nation and YDG Nation, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. I have to say, that dude right there, Jalen Carter, you're in trouble. Now, we did have a Tyler Smith, All-Pro. We do have a Tyler Smith, ain't did, which is a left guard, All-Pro, right now, that Jalen Smith has problems with on A and B gaps. Now we have a Tyler Booker that he's going to have problems with. And we have a beat up, I wouldn't say beat up, but we have a guy in a center / guard in BB, which is our offensive coordinator / offensive lineman. He coached at Kansas State. So we got 3 individuals that beats up people in the offense, on the offensive line, that we're going to get a lot of push. And our run game just took a leap. And I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm here to say we're going to have the top. If we can get another left tackle, maybe. And Tyler, and we got Terrence Steele, which is our right tackle. He's okay. I think he's going to play better this year. But if Tyler Guyton, we got 3 Tylers now. Guyton, Smith, and now Booker. Have a good day. We got 3 of the best interior offensive guards in football, I think, with this pick. So Cowboy Nation and YDG Nation, you need to be happy. No, it's not that sexy pick. No. But we just exploded out the gate in this new trench warfare that we're about to put on these teams. And let me again go over the reasons why I think this pick was successful. Eagles defensive line, Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, and Nolan Smith, all Georgia Bulldogs, which create havoc over last year's teams. Washington Commanders, Deron Payne, Javon Kinlaw, Dorrance Armstrong, which was our player that we let go. And you got to understand, guys, we let go a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, 11 and a half rotational players and starters. We just let them walk out the door. So we have to get our trenches fixed. The Giants, Chauncey Golston, Dexter Lawrence. I think Thibodeau, if he's not wanting to trade, and now you got Abdul Carter. That's going to be one of the strongest defensive lines in the NFC East and also NFC that we got to see twice a year. Dak is just now coming off an injury. But one thing he's not going to have to worry about is that interior pressure. He ain't got to worry about that no more. You got dudes like Booker and Smith and BB throwing dudes up out of the club. Tossing dudes. Go back and look at their films. That interior pressure is gone. We don't have to worry about that no more. Then that right tackle pressure and that left tackle pressure, I don't know. But us running the ball, leaning on people, I think we did an excellent job. Excellent job. Yeah, I wanted Golden. Yeah, I wanted Mecca Ibuka. Yeah, I wanted McKinley and T-Mac. But I think right now what we need to do in this day 2 pick is either get Bond from Texas. I still like Bond. I like him. I don't know, I just like him. Also, Luther Burden. We got to look for him. Or Bench. So there's some wide receivers out there that we can get. And there's also some running backs. But I think right now we're trying to build the trenches. And don't be surprised if we get a corner or a defensive tackle in round 2. But if we do one of those two, we need to trade back into the 2nd or the 3rd round and get a running back and a wide receiver because we don't have a 4th round pick. Let's get rid of these 2 5th picks, two picks in round 5, and let's trade back into the 4th or the 3rd and go ahead and get us a running back and a wide receiver. What do you guys think? Leave the comments, guys, and I appreciate you like, sharing, and subscribing. But I really do, and I understand that you guys are upset. I get it. But you got to build your team in the trenches. And I did say, trust me, I was harping on wide receiver. I wanted a wide receiver. But now that I think about it, I'm happy. Because we got to deal with some dudes in the NFC East. And if we can't get out in the NFC East, forget about the playoffs. All right, guys, I had to get on here and let you know what my thoughts are. I think it was an excellent pick in Booker. Go back and look at his film. He beating up dudes and tossing dudes out the club. So I like it. I like it. And I think he's going to be a decent leader. I know Tyler Smith is the leader right now, but I think he's going to be one of the leaders too for that offensive line. So I love it. Let me know your thoughts. Leave your comments. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe again, guys. We are growing. Hope everybody's well. Talk to you soon. Let's get ready for day 2 and day 3 of this NFL draft. Talk to you soon. Peace.